Hey everyone, it's me again, Madame Macabre. So today I kinda wanted to try doing something a little bit different. I know on various social media platforms I had been talking about maybe doing some sort of Q&A type thing where you guys ask me various questions and I go ahead and give you an answer to the best of my ability. So I thought I'd kind of do a play on 20 questions where I try and make a video where I answer 20 of the most recent asks I've gotten across various different platforms. If you guys like how this turns out, maybe I'll keep doing these segments and you guys can continue to ask me more of these questions if you like. And without further ado, I think I'll go ahead and get started. So the first question I got was, how old am I? I just turned 23 in March, so while it's not super old, I feel like compared to the community standards, that does make me kind of old. Okay, next, what is my favorite color? I actually really like the color purple. I've liked it for a really long time, but my like for it has only amplified since when I went away to university, that was actually one of my school colors, so now I have even more reasons to like it. Pets. Do I have any pets? Yes, I do. I actually have 2 cats. One named Charlie, the boy kitty, and one named Chloe, the girl kitty. And I love them very much. They don't necessarily love each other that much. They kind of fight a lot, but they tolerate each other. I think that's kind of how cats tend to be anyway. Okay, number 4. What kind of music do you like? Oh boy, I like so many different kinds of music. It entirely depends on my mood, really. But I'd say most of the time, I'm gonna have to go with some rock, metal. I do also like EDM, but again, I kind of like a little bit of everything. I'd be hard-pressed to find a genre where I don't like at least one song from it, so. Number 5. What art program do I use? I have various different art programs. Since you didn't specify, I can just touch on a bunch of the different ones I use. As far as the comic goes, I do most of the drawing and painting in Paint Tool Sci, and then I do the effects and I add the text in Photoshop. It's the Adobe Photoshop CS6. I have that suite, which I also use the Premiere, I believe. Yeah, Premiere for making actually these videos. And sometimes I'll use different programs that come in the suite, but the majority of the work I do that you guys see is either Sci, Photoshop, or Premiere. Alright. Do you like Batman? No, not at all. What's your favorite video game? My favorite video game? Okay. So, up until about junior high, I never really was that into video games aside from like the old Nintendo type of stuff. What actually got me into playing a bigger variety of games is one of my friends in junior high told me about this really cool game series called Silent Hill. And they knew I've always loved horror stuff. I enjoy it greatly. And they were like, dude, you're gonna love this. It's really scary. It's really well made. And I decided to give it a try, and I bought the PC version of Silent Hill 2, and I swear, from the moment I played that, I have been hooked. I own all the Silent Hill games, the movies, the omnibus, you name it. I am a huge Silent Hill fangirl. Number 8. How did you first get into creepypasta? Well, funny enough, I actually got into creepypasta myself through Mr. Creepypasta. I wasn't even looking for it, and nobody particularly introduced me to the videos. I believe YouTube suggested one of his videos from something else I was watching, and I was like, what the heck, give it a shot. And it was actually his Jeff the Killer video, so it's the double whammy. Jeff the Killer was my first creepypasta, and it was Mr. Creepypasta who introduced me to it, and I have loved it and been a part of the community ever since. Okay, number 9. How did you come up with the character Corbin? Alright, this is kind of an interesting story. You see, back when I was in college, when I was first coming up with the idea for this year, I had an art class with a girl who, her last name actually was Jumping Eagle, and we were friends. I'm not listing first name because I don't want people to look her up and bother her. But anyway, I was actually friends with her, and before class, I would pass all my ideas by her when I was just writing the plot, because we were friends, and she was interested in it. And as kind of a joke, as I was developing sketches and stuff for it, I made a character that kind of loosely looks like her. It's not exactly like her, but it was kind of based on her, and I gave the character the last name Jumping Eagle, kind of in honor of her. Mind you, she was full-blood Sioux, but, and it really originally was just a joke, and we'd laugh about it, but we kind of grew fond of the design, and it kind of stuck. So that's kind of where Corbin got her origins from. So it was a joke, like an inside joke between friends that ended up just sticking. Like, we grew fond of the idea, so. Number 10, do you use a tablet, and if so, what kind? Actually, let me see if I can. I have had this since I was about 16, so it is a dinosaur. I think it's a Wacom Bamboo. But, I've had that for like 5 years now, and it still works just fine. Yeah, that's what I use for 99.9% of all the stuff I do. Number 11. Are you a fan of horror movies? Yes, indeed. I love horror. I don't really have any posters up in my room. I know this isn't really a question anyone asked, but I noticed people notice I got tons of posters. They aren't necessarily posters of movies I particularly am a huge fan of. They were just... Another story. Back when I was in college, there was this awesome teriyaki shop called University Teriyaki, and they were always full of movie posters, and they were always switching them out because they worked with a local indie movie theater, and they would get posters and they would put them up in the restaurant. And, oh, this light is... One moment. Alright, sorry about that. Timed it just right where the sun decided to come right through the blinds. Anyway, so there was this restaurant called University Teriyaki that had all these movie posters, and me and my roommates from the apartment I was staying at the time were actually curious about what they did because they always cycled them out and we didn't see the old ones anymore. So we talked to the owner of the restaurant, and they were literally just throwing them away. So I was like, hey, can I have some of those? And they just gave me a huge old roll, and I took them back to the apartment, and me and my roommates divvied them up. And so the ones I have, so like, it's not particularly movies that are, oh my gosh, these are my favorite. They were free and they're cool, and as you can tell, I have an eclectic room, so I just like to fill up the rooms. Eventually I'm gonna, I guess, try and grow up my style, but for now, I just like it this way. It's fun. But, anyway, the question itself, am I a fan of horror movies? Yes, indeed, I love horror movies. It's kind of, the way, I like more psychological horror. I like scares that are set up with ambiance and the story and the plot, just everything build up to scare you. I am not a fan of slashers. I don't like gory movies. I don't think it's scary, it just grosses me out. I'm kind of a big baby when it comes to gore. I'll just hide during the movie and people will laugh at me, but it's like, it's gross, I don't want to see it. I love to be scared, but I'm just not scared by gore, it's gross. Let's see. Number 12. Do I travel often, and what are my feelings towards airplanes? I guess I travel moderately. Most of my travel has been just within the United States, and of that, it's mostly just up and down the West Coast. I have been out to a couple other states, and I've been to the East Coast. Well, once I actually went to stay there, and the second time I was just stopping there as I was transferring over to Rome. But I actually studied abroad in Rome for about 3 months. But yeah, so that was an interesting experience. How I feel towards airplanes? Honestly, I feel like they used to be really cool, but now air travel is just kind of like, it's not a luxury thing anymore. I feel like it's more comfortable to travel by bus or train, honestly. But I don't hate it. I mean, like, to travel overseas, you kind of have to do it, and I definitely plan on going overseas again. I really enjoy travel, and there's lots more countries I want to see, plus I probably want to go see Italy again, should the future allow it. Number 13. What am I afraid of? Okay, I have two big fears that are kind of like everyday type of things. I'm really, really, really scared of spiders. Oh my god, I have been terrified of them ever since I was little. I think I inherited that from my mom. She's even more afraid of them than I am. But if I see a spider, I'm probably gonna scream. Unlike my mom, who will run to the other end of the house and hide, I, though, will either get like a can of 409 or something so I can kill it with chemical warfare, or I'll hit it with a shoe or something. I'm sorry, I know some people are like, no, you should save it. But I don't, it's smart. If it got in, it can figure its way. It'll get out and it'll tell its friends and it'll come back in, so I can't let it live. Number 14. Am I single? Yes, right now I am indeed single. Dating hasn't been a huge priority on my end. I've kind of enjoyed a little bit of the time I've gotten being single, because I'm kind of introverted and I like to do things by myself. And, so alone time is nice, but it's something that eventually would be nice to find someone who kind of fits in the same pattern as me. Number 15. I saw your female MCP costume. Do you cosplay often? And if so, what are some of the other ones you're going to do? Okay, I actually haven't been cosplaying all that long. It's something just within the past couple years I've just got into. I have mostly just done, like, horror stuff, because I used to act in a haunted house, like, every Halloween since I was 13. So I've done lots of horror costumes, but I'm not sure if that really qualifies as cosplay. But I've done a Silent Hill nurse, I've done the female Mr. Creepypasta. As far as future cons and stuff like that go, which mostly I cosplay for cons, so I guess I don't do it super often. I'm planning on the next one I'm doing is Sugar or Sucre from Off by Mortis Ghost, and I'll post a picture so you can see it. The next cosplay I'd like to do after that is Catwoman from Arkham City, which I'm probably gonna have to work with a seamstress on that one because it's probably way over my own skill set level right now because the seam work on that suit is insane. And after that, the next one, the most recent addition to my cosplay list is actually I'm planning on doing Bayonetta. So that'll be fun, especially with the whole E3, yay, Bayonetta 2 being bundled with the first one. So that one will be fun. The shoes are going to be a nightmare to make, but I think I'll be able to get it done. Number 16. Do you believe in astrology, and what is your sign? The logical, like, science-y part of me says that no, not so much. Like, it's kind of been proven that astrology isn't, like, they use a lot of really general terms and stuff that can describe a lot of people. I mean, I have seen some things that I'm like, whoa, that describes me to a T, but it's one of those things where I think there's a lot of, like, psychology and stuff that goes into it that makes it work that way. As far as my sign, I am a Pisces, which, funny enough, like, a lot of the stuff kind of fits me, so I'm just like, hey, that's kind of neat. Okay, number 17. What video game consoles do I own? Oh boy, alright, let's see. I have, not set up right now, but just in the collection, I have an Atari, one of the old NES Nintendo systems. We actually have one of those Virtual Boys. Don't play it because it's horrible and disgusting, but we own it. I've got a GameCube, a Nintendo 64, a Super Nintendo, you guys can't see, but I'm pointing over to my entertainment system over here, PlayStation, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and then we used to have an Xbox, but got rid of it, and Xbox 360. I also have a Nintendo DSi and one of the extra large 3DSs, so I have a problem. 18. So I heard you're from Seattle. Do you like coffee? Okay, well, that's kind of a stereotype, it's true for me personally. I am a coffee addict. I cannot help it. And it's ironic because when I was younger, I hated coffee so much. I thought it was disgusting. But when I started going to college and having these early classes and things that I needed to do, and I didn't have enough sleep, I was like, okay, I better give coffee a shot. And now I am so addicted to coffee, I have to have like 2 cups a day or I get really grumpy. So I'm kind of a slave to my Keurig machine. Number 19. Any cool plans for the summer? Actually, I have some interesting things. No big vacations or anything like that planned. Mostly just kind of local stuff, but I do have some neat plans. Me and my friend Ominous Unknown Killer are actually planning on going to do some urban exploring. We've been talking about it and think it'd be fun. I mean, we're gonna camp too, but we want to find some cool places. Like, we know up in one town, I won't name it because reasons, but there is actually an abandoned mental hospital which we would like to go just kind of explore and record our adventures. Different things like that, because there's lots of really cool places that we kind of like to just explore, because we like to go do stupid stuff like that at night where it's not safe, but it's fun. But don't do that. I'm a bad example. And finally, number 20. Are you going to keep making this year? Yes. I get asked this question pretty much every time there's like a new episode has been out for a while and there's a gap. Yes, I am continuing this year. I'm sorry it takes me so long to update, but there's so much stuff that I do that it takes a while, because I have to update the comic, and then as far as the dubbing the comic is a totally different thing. I should be updating the comic page itself very soon, because I did all the backgrounds and all the panels, but I still have to draw the characters in, but I'll get on that. As far as the next episode goes, I am actually just waiting on getting the lines back from everyone. Once I get all the lines, I can start putting it together, because I've already got the panels chopped up and ready to go. So I will start making that as soon as I can, but yes, I am definitely going to keep making it. Believe me, guys, I wouldn't just leave you hanging. If I was planning on seriously stopping or, taking a really long break or something where I just wasn't doing production, I would tell you guys. I wouldn't just leave you hanging. So unless I specifically tell you that I'm done with the series or taking a break from it, you can assume that I'm going to be actively making it. Even though there's going to be some long pauses, I'll still be continuously putting stuff up on my channel, and unless I say so, the series is not over, so don't worry about it. So that's about it for all the 20 questions in the first episode. I hope you guys like it. If you have any more questions, you can go ahead and send them to me, and I'll try and catalog them and keep track of them. You can send them to me probably on various things. Like, I've got a Tumblr, that's a good place to send them. I just made a Twitter, actually. I got talked into doing it, and I felt like such a granny because I'd never used it before and I didn't really know what I was doing. But I do have a Twitter now, so you can ask me things there. I'll actually put links to all my social media down in the description. That way you can check those out. I've also got an Instagram and a Facebook. Different things where you can check me out and try and get more connected. But yeah, if you have any more questions that you'd like to be in the next episode of 20 questions, you can go ahead and send them to me, and I'll keep track of them and try and answer as many as possible. And one final word before we go, I actually wanted to give a shout out to Myuuji. You can see his channel, I'll put an annotation. If you guys haven't already checked him out, I definitely recommend it. Subscribe if you like. He actually is an amazing pianist and composer who does a lot of the music that you hear in our creepypasta narrations and lots of different scary, sad, really great music all around. And he has actually released his first album, The Dark Piano. I'll go ahead and link to that in the description. But I know he's got it at places like Bandcamp, iTunes, Google Play. I believe he's working on trying to set up Spotify and Amazon as well. So if you're able to, I'd really recommend getting it. I mean, it's actually a really great album. It's really enjoyable, great music. And honestly, you'll probably recognize a lot of it if you don't already know. Because most of the music that is on that album you have probably heard used by me and various other narrators in the community. because he's actually a huge part of what makes our community as a whole, because he provides the excellent music that builds the ambiance and background for our pieces. So by helping him out, you're actually helping the whole community. So please go ahead and check that out if you're able. I'm sure everyone in the community really thanks you, because we all have to help each other out. So that's about it for the first episode. If all goes well, maybe I'll keep doing these in the future. Once again, you can go ahead and send me your questions across the different media I've listed, and I'll try and add them to the queue for the next time. Well, that's all for now, guys. Bye!